Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to draw Timone from the Lion King, alright? So I'm going to start off and I'm going to draw the entire thing in a marker, that way it's a little bit darker and you guys can see it. But if you want to grab a pencil, that's more than okay. Alright, so to help you guys out, we'll be putting the finished drawing right here above the Drawing Joshua logo, that way you guys have something to look at while you draw. Alright, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start by drawing his face, okay? So I'm gonna go to the center of the page, and what I'm gonna do is come up just a little bit and over. And we're gonna start by drawing what we're looking at, his left eye, okay? So here, I'm just gonna draw an oval. Something like that, okay? All right, now inside of this, what I'm gonna do is draw a pupil. So off to kind of the right-hand side, I'm just gonna draw a circle. And inside of here, I'm just going to draw one more little circle that I'm going to leave white. That way it kind of looks like the reflection. It kind of makes his eye look shiny. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is in between these, I'm going to put just a little curve, something like this. Okay. That's going to be right above his nose. And then right on the other side of that, I'm going to put another oval. Okay. So I'm going to try to make it roughly the same size. Doesn't have to be perfect, something like that. All right, now similar like we did over here, I'm gonna put a pupil in. So I'm just gonna draw a circle. And then inside of here, I'm gonna draw another circle. I'm just gonna leave white. All right, awesome job so far. Now let's go ahead and give him a nose while we're here, okay? So if we come over to this eye, I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna put a dot here. And if you wanna do the same thing on the other side, so you come down from the pupil, maybe like there, okay? Now, let's go ahead and just connect these with kind of a curved line, okay? Something kind of like this. And then we're gonna go down, and we're almost gonna make like a triangle shape. So it kind of comes to a point there. And once we come down just a little bit further, then we can just go ahead and connect it back up. Something like that. All right, awesome. Now let's go ahead and work on the shape around his eyes, okay? So, let's start on this left eye. And what I'm gonna do is from here, I'm gonna come up and it comes around and it comes down. And once we kind of hit that nose where that is, roughly how like high that is, then we're gonna start to curve it back out, okay? Now let's go ahead and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, okay? So from here, I'm gonna draw a line that comes up about the same height. Then it comes down, and once we reach about where the nose is, we start to curve. All right, awesome. Now, from here, I'm gonna draw a line that just kind of curves and comes back down to where his eye is. All right, so same thing on the other side, kind of comes up and down. All right, that kind of shows like where his cheeks kind of start. Okay, now let's go ahead and work on his hair while we're up here, okay? So I'm gonna draw a line that's gonna connect these two. So it's just gonna be like a V shape in between. So it comes down on one side and it's a V, so it comes back up on the other side. All right, and we draw his hair. All right, so let's start like the center of this peak over here. We're just gonna draw a curved line that comes up like that. And it's gonna come back down. And we're just gonna kind of do like some zigzag shapes. Maybe kind of comes back down, maybe make a little smaller one, and maybe make a little smaller one. There. Something like that. All right, awesome. Now let's go ahead and work on the rest of his face. So now that we are here, let's go from like about where his nose is. Let's go over here, and we're gonna start one side of his smile. Okay, so that's one side. Now from the same distance, roughly on this other side, I'm gonna do is come over, and I'm gonna draw the other side of his smile. Something like that. All right, now we're just gonna draw a big smile on him. So this is just a curved line that comes down below the nose and just connects back up like that. All right, now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start closer at the ends and we're gonna make it a little bit bigger in the middle, and then we're gonna end close together again, okay? So I'm close together and it slowly gets bigger. Kind of go back and fix that a little bit. And then it's a little bit bigger And then it slowly gets closer again like that. All right, great job. Now let's go ahead and give him some teeth, okay? So these are just gonna be straight lines. And you can give him tons of teeth. You can just give him a couple teeth. It's totally up to you. I'm gonna do like that many. All right, now let's go ahead and finish his cheeks. So from here, I'm just gonna have this curved line that kind of comes around his smile and comes back down. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on this other side. So it kind of comes around and then comes back down like that. All right, great job. Now let's go ahead and put a little mark under his smile like that. All right, and then from his smile, what I'm gonna do is actually come around and we're gonna connect it to where we stopped. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. From where his smile mark is, it's gonna come around and connect down like that. And I wanna extend this one just a little bit, like that. All right. Now let's go ahead and work on his neck and his body, okay? So now we're gonna continue these lines and his neck kind of gets smaller. Once you get to about where we put his smile line, I want you to start curving back in like that. Because he has a very skinny neck. Like that, all right? Cool. Now let's go ahead and give him some ears. So from where we ended kind of this mark here where that connects, I'm just gonna draw a half a circle. This is gonna make it look like his ears are behind his head, all right? So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, kind of where these almost meet. I'm gonna come over just a little bit. I'm just gonna do like a half circle that comes back up, okay? Now let's go ahead and give him some arms, all right? So I'm gonna continue this line down a little bit. And we're gonna come just a little line up, so it's gonna make a V shape. It's gonna curve around, maybe stop like there, all right? And this is where we're just gonna go ahead and make it look almost like we did his hair. We're just gonna do like some zigzags, okay? I'm just gonna do like 2 of them. Then this line comes back in, but I'm gonna stop right there because I don't know exactly how far his body's gonna come out right now. So let's go ahead and let's even just do that so we know how far. So from where this connects, I'm gonna slowly kind of come back out. So it's not really a straight line anymore. And it's gonna come around and down. All right, now this is where his hand is gonna be, okay? So I'm gonna connect this top line. It's gonna slowly get bigger like this. The top part is gonna connect back up like that. All right, now let's go ahead and draw his hand. So I'm gonna have this line that comes out, almost kind of like a curve, and then we're gonna draw his fingers, all right? So these are just gonna be almost like ovals. This first one's just gonna connect, and we'll draw one more behind it. That's also gonna connect, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and work on the other side of his body. So similar to this shape that we did over here, what I'm gonna do is come down a little bit more. Then we're gonna come out and down, kind of back in a little bit, okay? Now, from here, let's go ahead and draw his other arm. So like we did here, we kind of came up, and then it kind of curves and comes back down like that. And then again, we're gonna do some zigzag lines, just like 2 of them. And then we're gonna come close to the body, but we're not quite gonna touch it, okay? And same thing on this other side, from the top, gonna have a line that comes up. And from here, the top part of his arm is a little bit thicker. So it's gonna connect like that. All right, great job so far. I think yours is looking fantastic. I just know it. Okay, so now let's draw this other hand. So like we did this curved line over here, I'm gonna do a curved line over here. I'm gonna draw an oval that connects, and then another oval that connects, like that. All right, so now he has those fingertips. As you know, the tips of his fingers are extra brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little line here. That way I can color those in darker, as you can see from the reference photo. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's work on the rest of his body, and then we'll do his tail and his legs. Does that sound good? Okay, so I'm gonna come down and come back in. I'm just going to do a straight line across. And this part, same thing. It's going to come back out. Like that. All right, now let's go ahead and we'll give him some legs and a tail. So from where his fingers kind of connect, I'm going to start coming out. And I'm going to start curving around and back down like this. All right. Now, this is where his foot is going to be. So it's going to come to a point here. And we're going to curve back out like that. All right, it's going to be a gradual curve back over a little bit further from where this was. And then it's just going to connect back up to the corner. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and give him some toes. So from the top line, there's just going to be this curved line that comes down. And then we're going to give 2 lines for his toes, okay? So these maybe have a little bit of curve to them, but if you want to make yours perfectly straight or something else, that's more than all right. All right, now let's go ahead. And while we're on this left side, let's go ahead and give him a tail, okay? So this line was kind of coming down and then we curved back in. So before it curves back in, this is going to be where I draw his tail, all right? It just comes up like that. Comes back down. And it just connects to his body, all right? Then like we put a line here to show his toes, I'm going to put a line here, show the end of his tail. All right, great. Now we just have 1 more foot to go. Okay, so let's start from here where his hand is. It's going to curve out. Then it's going to start curving back in and come to a point. All right. It's going to curve over like we did on his other foot and come to a point. Curve back at the bottom. And then this is the part where we're going to come back like this, but it's going to be a little bit different because it's kind of like the opposite shape. All right, now let's go ahead and draw the toe part. So this is just a line from the top that curves to the bottom. And then I'm going to draw 2 toes. Something like that. All right, awesome. Now let's go ahead and let's just add 1 little tuft of fur, maybe like here. All right, so it's going to come down, back up, down, back up. All right, awesome. And just like that, you are all done drawing Timone. Okay, so you're welcome to color him in whatever colors you'd like. But I'm gonna go ahead and color him in. I'm probably gonna color in like a light brown and like for most of his body, and maybe like a darker brown for around like his eyes and stuff. But like I said, you are welcome to color him in whatever colors you'd like, or you can pause the video at the end and match the colors that I chose. Guys, so as you can see, I colored in my Timone with red hair, and I colored kind of around his eyes like a darker brown, and I did just give him some eyebrows, so I went around there with black and kind of colored in like the tips of his toes and his fingers like a darker brown. But I'd love to see how your drawings turned out. So feel free to tag me on any social media posts, or have you or a parent email me your finished drawing at drawingjoshua123@gmail.com. Now I'm just looking to hear what you guys want to learn how to draw next. So feel free to drop a comment below, and I'm happy to work that into a future video for you guys. But until then, please remember that drawing does take practice. So practice and always have fun. Thanks, everyone.